Western society has something of a stigma against animation. Many people in Western society seem to believe that animation is just for children, or it is not a serious medium through which to convey a story. Now, the situation has been improving in recent decades. It certainly is not nearly as bad as it was many years ago, but there still is room for improvement. We still see that there are some traces of that stigma remaining in society. Like, for example, the recent CGI animated TMNT and Spider-Man films were rated PG, whereas Michael Bay's live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles films and all the live-action Spider-Man films have been rated PG-13. Plus, the live-action films had stronger, had more extreme violence and, on occasion, more coarser, more vulgar language. Now, of course, I am not saying that violence and vulgar language make a movie better. I'm just saying that these are examples where people seem to believe that animation is still meant to be for younger audiences. Hence, the lighter, the less violence, and the softer language. But of course, as I've said, I think things do seem to be getting better in some ways. Although we have been seeing animation branching out in new directions, new unexplored areas and territories, which is quite nice. Although I do have to say some of the directions they are taking may be questionable. Let me see. The movie Sausage Party from several years ago was explicitly billing itself, was cashing in, was marketing itself as being the first R-rated all CGI film. But is that really something on which to market yourself? Does it really matter what the rating of your film is? Like, that movie was filled with all manner of crude and vulgar language and sexual innuendos, and the same thing can be said for other series also, like South Park, Family Guy, Tripping the Rith, Drawn Together. All of these are animated series meant for adults, but they are filled with all manner of vulgar and crude content. I would like to see animation for adults that does not need to rely on vulgarity, that actually tells a serious story and provokes the audience into thinking. Like, I know I've mentioned this example before, but I still think that the 1981 film Heavy Metal is one of the best, greatest animated films ever made. So yes, it was made in 1981. It definitely shows its age in many regards. There's no doubt they were pandering to males, like, say, ages 18 to 28 or so, with the violence and the fact that women are only too eager to please men in that movie and stuff or whatever. But still, I still think it was an excellent film. And let's see now, the Netflix series Love, Death, and Robots is often considered a spiritual successor to Heavy Metal, and I think that was an excellent series. I mean, it did have some violence and some crudeness and vulgarity and some excessive gratuitous nudity and sexuality, but for the most part, though that series was very thought-provoking. It really helped make the audience think, and it really had interesting, unusual stories without a question. So yes, I do think that some of the stigma against animation does still remain in the Western world, but it is definitely getting better. We're definitely seeing that the stigma is decreasing as time passes, and that animation is really branching out and experimenting with new ideas. So what does everyone else think about this? Do you believe that the situation for animation in the Western world is improving? So please let me know what you have to say about this. Thank you very much.